So my role was essentially senior server and infrastructure engineer. I was responsible for supporting the core network and server infrastructure at the large hospital system, with five total hospitals, and essentially supporting everything from Active Directory, Exchange, VMware, um, and all monitoring systems, and also anything network and server back end the uh, for the new EMR system.
So not hardly anything. It sounds like you just came to work and fiddled your thumbs all day, huh?
Yeah, I just sat at my desk and didn't do very much, and just we didn't have a whole lot of we only had like 2,500 mission critical servers or something like that. So it was it was small scale.
That's right. And if I remember correctly, I mean, you were down in the trenches, what's like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. You were in there knocking out tickets and solving issues. And I mean, you really thrived in just in being the go-to guy to get it done. And I know a lot of on the application team and a lot of the people in the hospital, once they got to work with you, they always came back because you were you had the people skills and you also had the technical skills to get it done.
And that goes for the same for you as well, because from everybody that I spoke to in the from the application team to the server team to the security team, they were always like Joseph Garfield. Joseph Garfield can get it done. He knows what he's doing. He has his dedicated project dashboard that can report on metrics and let us know exactly where we are in a project. And it's very detailed, and he provides some of the most detailed metrics that they have ever seen on a project. And it was essentially amazing to be able to dive down and from all of your work, dive down to see exactly where you are in a project and see what exactly is failing to be able to improve on that and pull the project back on track. Because there were multiple times where we had been in the situations, and then with you as the program manager, project manager on on some of these projects, it was amazing to see things get pulled back on track with your dashboards and your technical prowess and your expertise when it comes to things like that.
Well, I'm blushing now. I'm blushing now, Matt. I appreciate that feedback. It's funny, coming from an IT background, we work together and, on the IT side, there's lots of great monitoring tools, right? You've got all kinds of, you name it. You've got SolarWinds and PRTG, all kinds of monitoring tools for the infrastructure, but we don't treat projects that way. And so, to your point, I really try, what we try to do is kind of bring that IT, the background and the benefits of IT into project management. So those dashboards give you some real-time monitoring. In fact, since we've talked last, I've actually converted over to using online live dashboards like Google Sheets and other tools. So it's real time. So now we can manage our projects in real time as opposed to looking at some static spreadsheet. So we're getting better all the time.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So tell me about, you mentioned other project managers that you worked with. Obviously, you've been doing IT for a while now. What was the situation like working with other project managers, or, for example, some of these projects that were kind of off track before Phase 3 and I got involved? Tell me about what it was like before us.
So I think what really sets you apart in the field is the fact that with you being an IT project manager and an IT program manager, I think the fact that the thing that sets you apart is the fact that you used to be in a technical role, and you have the technical knack, and you have a way of knowing that, basically calling people on their stuff if they're trying to delay a project, or if they're trying to just push back or something like that, to push another team's deadlines or something like that. You have enough technical know-how and technical prowess to essentially push back and say, no, that's not right. Because whereas before it would be two teams pointing at each other, fighting and saying, no, it can't be this way. No, it can't be this way. You kind of come as that middleman and say, hey guys, well, we know we can come we know we can come at this from various angles, but let's approach it, let's work together and let's solve this in a technical way, because a lot of the IT issues need to be solved in a technical way.
Mhm.
And that's what, I'm not saying that everything does. There's people skills in everything as well, and that's something you excel at as well. But from a technical sense, it that's what sets you apart from the rest of the field is that technical depth and background.
Well, I'm grateful that you noticed that. I think, it's like you pointed out, I was not always a project manager, right? I actually used to have to work for a living like you, like the IT guys behind the scenes who make everything happen. I think a lot of the IT engineers like yourself, it's funny because you're always behind the scenes getting it done, and you only get attention when things go wrong, and that's when you get the spotlight, right? And so I've been there, and so I get that side of the house. And to your point, I mean, when there's a problem, it's not about pointing fingers. It's not about he said, she said, or whose fault it is. It's about getting it fixed and getting back on track. And so, I mean, to your point, there's many times when I know you were always Johnny on the spot whenever we had an issue, and I would try to sneakily Skype you. Hey, Poletti, are you free? Hey, are you available? Because I knew that if I could get you on a call, we kind of share that, right? Both of us, we're all about helping people and helping technology work for people. And so together with working with the different groups, we were able to get it fixed and get back on track. And so what could have been a showstopper became a road bump, and that I think
Right.
that happened many times for us over the years.
Right. And I think it's a very eloquent skill that kind of both of us have, and we're kind of alike in that manner, is that we have the people skills. We have the people slash political skills to know how to navigate things such as that, but also being very deep technically. It kind of sets us apart in the field, and I think that's why you've had a lot of why you've excelled as much as you have in your organization and your role as with as many organizations that you've worked with and all of that. I've I've had people that have worked in those organizations as well and known them, and they've mentioned that the same feedback that I've given is that he's just a step ahead of everyone else.
Well, it helps when you're 6'9" and you got long legs, right? You can't tell from the video. I know I'm a tall guy, but for those who are watching the video, being tall, you're pretty tall too. What are you, 6'4"?
Yeah, I'm 6'4".
Okay, so we got the tall man. It's a blessing and a challenge at the same time. But I mean, to your point, the people skills. I think we both realize that technology is a means to an end, right? It's important to be able to make technology work. We depend on it. We rely on it. It's kind of the lifeblood of business. But the whole point of it is to help people. And I think, unfortunately, so many people in IT kind of get lost in the weeds where they think that it's the technology is the center of the universe, right? It's their server, it's their switch, it's their router. When the business doesn't even know what those things are and they don't care, they just want it to work. Just make it work. Make the problem go away. I want to be able to get to my website or do my job. So, I agree with you. I think you've covered a lot of the questions I had for you already, man. You're all over it. So, of all the things you've mentioned, what really was if you'd pick one thing that really just stood out that made you the happiest about working with Phase 3, that kind of separated us from the pack and helped us to help the hospital and you and your team be successful? What would that one thing be?
I would have to say it kind of circles back to what I've already said as well, but just the organization, your organization skills. You're always on top of everything. You're you're one step ahead of everybody else, and you're making sure that things get done in a timely manner. And I think it really speaks to the motto of your company, and it's never been truer. with you as an individual, as you as an organization, as you continue to grow. I don't think that will change, and it's purely your organization, your technical prowess, your ability to interface with multiple teams, multiple cross-functional teams at that, which is a very difficult task to do sometimes. And I mean, we've worked on some very, very complex projects. We worked on a very large M&A activity with the hospital system, and we had very complex file structures that we had to transfer from one system to another to another to another to make sure that all files got to the appropriate place.
Automatically
And
too, yeah.
it was in an automated fashion, and without your organization, your documentation, your project dashboards, it would have been a nightmare to keep track of where all that needed to go, how it needed to get there, what time it needed to transfer, and all of that. And with your skill set, your documentation, and your dashboards, it helps tremendously on that activity. And that's one of that revenue cycle integration project that we did there was a large project, but the largest project by far was the entire EMR replacement for the hospital system. And I mean, I I've never heard as much praise for an organization as Phase 3 as I have during that whole implementation. As you were a key and integral part of that entire project's success. So I think your motto speaks for itself in your company. Whenever anyone asks what you can do and how you do it, just recite your motto. And I can promise you, if you give Phase 3 and Joseph Garfield a chance, you won't be disappointed.